Hello all, Pit Bike Mike, and today we are doing a Suzuki demo ride up here in PA. Hopefully we're gonna have some good routes, so we'll see what we see. Alright, so we are going to be riding this Suzuki V-Strom 1050 in that beautiful orange. Man, I can't wait to see what this bike's gonna be like on the road. Got that pretty nice display. Alright, but disclaimer, I am doing a demo. I have never ridden this bike before, and the demo is only, like 15-20 minutes. So I don't get a whole lot of time to be able to really test the bike and see how I feel about it. So my thoughts are just going to be the unedited first ride impression of the bike. And so, yeah, once we hit the road, we will see what we see. Alrighty y'all, now we are on the road. It's been probably like 2 or 3 miles or so since started riding this V-Strom 1050. My initial thoughts: seating position pretty good. It is a very relaxed seating position in my opinion. I gotta say, it is very interesting working on a hydraulic clutch. I have not had very much experience with hydraulic clutches, at least on motorcycles. Cars obviously, but motorcycles, I don't know, it's not as prevalent. Not really sure why, if it's like a maintenance thing or what, but I don't know, it's a nice change of pace. I don't really have a positive or a negative to say about it. It's just different. Alright, wind noise. I definitely do hear a bit of wind noise with this bike also, but like I said, it's in earlier videos for this demo day, it is windy. So, not the biggest surprise. This narrow but kind of tallish windshield, it seems to take the air off me pretty well. It's not like it's buffeting my helmet too bad. Granted, I'm only doing at that 1.53 mile an hour, so it's not like I'm doing highway speeds. But it feels fairly comfortable. Also has a quick shifter, which obviously is a fantastic addition to have on any bike. The display is actually, out of all the bikes I've ridden today, the smallest, but it's still very clear and easy to read. It's simple, it gives you the necessary information, and it doesn't, give you too much garbage information that you don't really need. Got a very easy to read mile per hour, tachometer, you got the traction control, the SDMS, and the ABS. Gear into positioning, gear position indicator, battery voltage, coolant temp, air temp, and mileage. So, all in all, not too bad. I definitely feel like I sit up pretty tall on this bike. But, kind of on the tip of my toes if I put both down. But obviously with a bike like this, for the most part, you're just single footing it. It goes into neutral pretty easy. Very interesting orange color. Kind of reminds me of KTM vibes. Got these nice little hand guards keeping your hands from getting too much wind on them, which definitely would be nice during the winter time. This bike does have a quick shifter. It's not as smooth as the GSXS 1000, what is it, GX or GT, but it still has a quick shifter, which it's nice, I guess. I wish it was a little smoother. You know, besides for the color, it's giving me KTM vibes. It's a little jerky. Yeah, you all know I will come back at KTM once again, because, man, y'all know. If y'all been here for any length of time, y'all know my position on KTM. The seat, it's firm, but I feel like it would be comfortable enough on longer trips. Yeah, it's not too bad. I'll definitely say that the ones on the, you know, the 1000s of the GX and the GT were, in my opinion, a little bit more plush and comfortable, but this is definitely not a bad place to be either. Now, one positive I will definitely give to this bike in comparison to the Gixxis 1000, you know, GX and GT, is the bar controls are easier. It's, you know, you got your cruise control here, and then it's just set, resume. It's really simple. You have the mode for, you know, obviously changing your little ride modes. I don't know, I kind of like how it's simpler. Obviously with anything, you kind of get familiar with the layout if you ride the bike long enough, but, you know, just getting on this bike and not knowing it, it's pretty nice. Pretty nice, simple, and all that. That 90-degree V-twin sounded pretty decent there. I'm not really sure what the horsepower figures are on this, but I definitely know it's nowhere near that 150 of the GT and the GX that I was riding. One thing I'll also say, I don't know if this has anything to do with like how this bike's been ridden, but I'll admit the clutch definitely grabs very far out compared to the other bikes that I was on, which I'll admit, not the biggest fan of. I kind of like, you know, a lot closer to when you first start letting out, but that's personal preference. Like I said, I don't know if that's just this bike or if that's actually how it actually is. I don't know how you would do any type of real adjustment when hydraulic clutches, but, you know, neither here nor there. One thing I'll definitely say that is also kind of nice about this bike is that it has like this weird little shield that comes over top of the screen, which I guess, as long as you don't have the sunlight right behind you, it definitely helps shield the screen from, you know, glare and all that, which is kind of cool, kind of nice. It's a nice, thoughtful little touch. I do like the throttle on this bike quite immensely. I don't know if it's because it's a V-twin or what, but it's just, I like, there's no jerkiness. It's just very smooth. Even when getting one from like completely off throttle, it's not bad at all. The front brake on this bike, don't know what it is off the top of my head, probably a Nissan maybe, but that thing grabs. This the braking system on this bike is very good. Very light pressure to the brake lever, and this thing's ready to just come to a screeching halt, which, you know, good, bad, indifferent, you know. It would definitely take some getting used to, you know, so you don't accidentally grab a handful and do anything unsightly to yourself. I will say, I do feel like I sit more in the bike on this compared to the 1000 GX. Not as much so as I do on the 1000 GT. But this is really not a bad seating position. Maybe just because I do like the little bit more sporty feeling of the GT. I definitely would say that would still be my number one pick out of the bikes that I've ridden today. But I would say this would be a second. Unfortunately, that new GX 1000 just... it felt nice, but it definitely wasn't me. And I'll admit this, I've been wanting to try to like these like upright adventure style bikes. I've really been trying, but I just not quite my cup of tea. Still a very good bike though. I'm not putting that down. You know, these 90-degree V-twins that Suzuki's been putting out for ever and a half, they definitely have it figured out. This is a really solid feeling motor. It really is. I definitely like it a lot. So as I'm getting ready to end off this ride, just wanted to reiterate, this was a really solid bike. It's weird because I came in really wanting to like the GX and this V-Strom 1050. I really did, but sad to say, that GT did win my heart today. And as much as I would have liked to have been able to ride even more bikes from this Suzuki demo day, it was just so busy that, you know, I'm lucky that I even got to ride the 3 that I did. So, yeah, solid bike. You know, if this is a style of riding that you enjoy, then definitely check this thing out, because it is a pretty cool bike. And for the price, I think, which is like around 14, almost 15, it seems like you get a pretty solid bike. And you know, that Suzuki reliability, which you really can't say anything bad about. So yeah, on that note, I hope y'all like, subscribe. Pit Bike Mike is